Thanks for joining me in another episode of the Digital Marketing Masters podcast. I am Yolanda Rose, digital marketer, and every week I bring you easy, actionable tips, content, and strategies that you can use to grow your business online almost immediately. If you're new to the show, thank you for choosing us. There's tons of really cool podcasts out there. Thank you for including mine as one of them. And please consider subscribing on whichever platform that you are listening to right now. And if you are an all-time listener, thank you so much for being loyal. I would really appreciate it if you can jump into Apple Podcasts or onto my Facebook page and leave me an honest review of what you think about this podcast and what other content you'd like to hear on a regular basis on the podcast. And you can also reach out to me on social media. It's Yolanda Rose on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and TikTok as well. And I'd love to hear from you and engage with fellow listeners. I've been working with a whole bunch of clients recently, and if you are looking for somebody to handle your social media, we are accepting clients at this time. Just send us an email at yolanda@yolandarose.com and we will send you an application form to consider you as a possible client for myself and my team. But while working on a proposal for a client, I specifically was looking, because she's a new client who's haven't really ventured into digital marketing on a commercial scale before. I went about trying to educate this client about sales funnels. And I thought, since I have the material already, I'm going to share it with you. And whatever you do, online for your business, it needs to be strategic and it should be part of your sales funnel, and it should not just be fluff that you just put out there. But whatever it is, it needs to be part of a funnel working towards a greater objective, whether the objective is a sale or to generate a lead where you can take that lead to engage in an offline sale. Whatever it is, we need to be strategic about it. And one way we can do that is through a sales funnel. So what is a sales funnel? Well, it's just simply a visual tool that we use to visualize where the prospects are in their buying journey, in their decision-making journey. And a sales funnel is usually wide at the top because, like a funnel, it captures a lot at the top and it slowly funnels to the point where we generate that lead or generate the sale or whatever our objective to be online is. So we move the customers through various stages of our funnel, from being aware of us, being aware of our brand, being aware of our product and our service, to the point where we nurture them to consider our product. Should I buy this person's product? And should I consider their service? And then to work them up to the point where you become their preference from all the competitors out there. You are the preferred service or product provider. Then they become engaged and they purchase from you and they become loyal. And if your product is one where they continuously buy on a regular basis, they become loyal with their purchasing, and eventually they will advocate your product to their circle as well. So to summarize a sales funnel, it's about attracting that community, engaging the crowd, educating those that really engage and become committed to you, and convert those even small amounts of people into customers. And then once they're customers, we really, really engage them, because remember, it is far cheaper and easier to retain your customers than it is to get new customers. So as a prospect moves through your sales funnel, your conversion goals need to change at the various stages. For example, one, your attraction stage, where people are unfamiliar with the business. And that's usually the easiest part because it's just about throwing a bunch of ads at them. And if you master the ads process, that's fairly easy. But then as we move further down the funnel, we got to start engaging those people. They need to know you exist. You got to be regular. You got to be committed to start building some engagement with them. And I like to put my voice and my face in front of them. So video is a huge part of my specific engagement process once I've attracted eventual prospects. So once they are familiar with me, I start educating to start to prime them for that purchase, eventually to convert them when they're ready to buy, and to re-engage the fans, to upsell them to something, give them value as well, with the content that they've bought at no cost. And a lot of the times as online marketers, we fail when we want to convert the lead immediately. We want them to purchase right away, and we get caught with a sense of eagerness right here, but we got to understand the sales process and the buying decision process of that specific prospect. So this is just part one. It's actually a lot that I have to share, and we're just going to go through a few steps today, and we'll do the various parts over the next couple of weeks when it comes to the sales cycle. And we're going to start with step number one of increasing conversions in the awareness stage. And a lot of the content that I have put out on this podcast is about increasing the awareness, and we do that with the content. And the goal at this stage is once they're aware of you, they need to keep coming back. They need to sign up to the newsletter. They need to be reading your blogs regularly. They got to be listening to your podcasts regularly, because you're giving value and you've created that awareness, and they know that you're somebody, you know what you're talking about. You offering them value in whatever industry that you're pitching in. But people can't buy from you if they don't know you exist. So this is what the awareness stage is about, and they won't buy from you if they don't trust you. So it's about creating that awareness and then building that trust. So you need to get your name out there to establish your business, to establish your brand as somebody competitive, somebody that's offering value, and you are a leader in whichever field that you're in. Some strategies that you can use to attract new prospects by establishing your authority are by blogging. Now, the internet, this is Internet 101. I mean, blogging just peaked years ago, I think. I'm not sure if people really still blog these days, but write about anything related to your product or your service or even your industry. Don't be afraid to include the peripheral topics as well. And at this point, your goal is to establish your authority. You don't want to engage sales. You don't want to say buy now, buy now, buy now. But you want to establish yourself as somebody who knows what they're talking about, as somebody who people can come to for advice when it comes to purchasing and things like that. And another way to get known, get your brand out there is through social media. I mean, you're here because of social media. I hope you are. But consumers today rely on their social networks. They want to know what their friends are buying, what their friends and their peers think about this product and this service. And they look to social networks to find advice, to find referrals. And we see even Facebook has a recommendations feature where people can ask for recommendations. And when others are asking for recommendation in your niche and your industry, your loyal fans need to be suggesting you first. So people expect a business to be available for questions on Facebook and on Twitter and the various digital media platforms. And that's one of the great reasons why they're 24/7. And while you're asleep, your digital media needs to be working for you and generating leads for you and answering those questions for you. And one way that you can be using social networks is to build social proof, to let people know your product or your service, it works. Because people are recommending it, people are enjoying it, people can see the results of whatever it is that you're selling. Meet your customers by developing an active online presence on the networks that make the most sense for your business. Now, you can't be on everything. It's time consuming. It's costly to hire staff to handle all of the social media because people are specialists in each one. And it's going to cost you money to do that. And you want to see a return of your investment. So don't work with all of the social media unless it's in your business strategy to do so and you have the resources to do so. But be selective on which social media channels you choose and try and master that and engage your customers on those platforms. And one of the easiest things to do right now is to cross-promote. If you're creating content for Facebook, use the same content on LinkedIn. I mean, you might have to tweak it because of the audience and the objectives on the various platforms are different. But especially if you're creating things like GIFs and videos and images, those are easy to customize. You have tools like Spark and Canva to come up with those pre-selected templates on the various platforms. I wish social media would just decide on one template. It's a lot easier for us and will really bring down our costs. But unfortunately, it's not like that. But the cool thing is that you can cross-promote, reuse the same content on the various social networks and to drive your branding message across to your users or prospects. Ads are another great way to get people out there, just to reach people, to brand yourself. And the ad campaigns allow you to advertise, be it on social media or even on the various networks like Google and LinkedIn, where websites, you can have your message on their websites using the affiliate marketing networks. So you only pay for when somebody clicks on your ad or by the number of impressions your ad receives. So Google AdWords is a major one for this, and obviously it drives a lot of sales, especially if you're in the e-commerce business as well. You can also go old school to reach prospects with traditional public relations, newspaper, TV. Get yourself a public relations guru to try and attract customers. Print ads, television commercials, live events, direct mail, the old school way of marketing, it's still relevant. In certain segments, it's definitely relevant and it should not be ignored. A prospect may be technically offline, but those people have money to spend. I mean, look at the older folks. Their wallets are bigger, they have greater spending power, but a lot of them are not online. A lot of them are not engaging with smartphones and social media. So you have to find a way to reach them as well. So traditional public relations and traditional marketing methods work well for this kind of crowd. Okay, so that's the awareness stage. I'm gonna stop it right there, and we're gonna continue on to the conversions and the consideration stage next week on the Digital Marketing Masters podcast. So I'll talk to you then. I'd like to know your ideas though about the awareness stage of the sales funnel. What unique creative ideas that we should be using that's not at all known or very popular at this stage that we can share with our fellow business owners to help increase their businesses as well. So let me know. Drop me a line. It's Yolanda at financiallyfabulousfemales.com. And I'll talk to you next week on the Digital Marketing Masters podcast.